So today I thought I would show you what I do every year to set up my pool. I store everything in the basement. There's my pool. I wrap it up in a tarp and stick it in a closet down there. And then I also wrap up I have some, looks like the clear plastic wrap. It's just easy to get on and off. And I use that tarp. And if you look at the tarp, you can see that there's some powder on there. That's actually talcum powder. They tell you to put that on there so that it keeps it soft, especially if you're storing it outside. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to clean the rocks and debris from the lawn. I spread out the pool, and now I'm going, actually that was the circle from where the pool was last year. I actually plant grass every year. Kind of takes me an hour just to dig it up and replant grass. And then I grab the tarp, we're putting it out flat, and you notice there's some dead grass underneath it. Just clean those off. Now we're going to take the pool and we're going to put it on the tarp, and Emma's going to fall down. And you notice one thing I didn't do here, it doesn't show very well, is that I don't pull the tarp out from underneath it to stretch it out to get rid of any wrinkles under there. I was more worried about the pool, which I really should have had help and just pulled that tarp so that there's no wrinkles underneath it. I use an air compressor to pump up the ring around the top, and that takes a long time if you're going to try to use one of those air mattress compressors. We did that in the past, and then I'm just like, I can't take it anymore. So I use an air compressor. If you can borrow one from somebody, it still takes a good 10 minutes. If you're going to use a pump that you usually pump your bike tires up with, one of those little mini air compressors, make sure you turn it off every couple minutes or it will overheat. I've been going at it for like 10 minutes or something. I used an air compressor to pump up the top, and it took a good 10-15 minutes, probably 10 minutes. And this is the contraption I have at the end of it. All you do is press this down and air will come out. It had a little bit of water in there. And this is the attachment that I used. It just kind of fit right in there. I mean, it's just like a regular pump that you can pump up like anything. I'm gonna leave it off because I don't need it on there now. But anyway, that's what I did to pump it up. And I keep my stuff in bags in the basement. This is just the hoses. Here's the pump that I have. And here's some other supplies. I keep them all in the basement, including wrapped up like you saw, so that mice will get to your shed and all that, and they'll eat holes and stuff. Plus, the winter will freeze it depending on where you live, so it will crack the vinyl. Like you can see right here, this is kind of, it's not cracked, but if this was outside, that right there could easily cause a hole. As you can see, it's kind of dirty, and you fill up the top first and then you can get to everything else. But I don't know if you can really see the pool itself. We wiped it out before we put it away, and it's really clean. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to have it wiped down one more time, but that's what it is. You gotta be careful walking in here beforehand. A couple of things you want to do before you start filling it up, besides wiping it down, is make sure that the drain plugs are closed. And there's two of those right there. Whenever you empty it at the end of the year, the water will go through there and out through a hose and to wherever you want it. So you can see this is kind of dirty, but the pool itself is really clean. That's easy to wipe off. I'm already wiping it off. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to put, this is the return to the pool, and that over there is, this is the outlet. This is where the water is going to be sucked out into the pump, and then it will come back through that hole right there. This pool comes with 2 of these, and you're going to want to put this one where the water's coming in, and this one where the water goes out. So when you're storing these, quick tip, you should make sure that you put a little bit of Vaseline on these so that it doesn't dry out and crack. And this, you need that rubber thing. If you don't have that rubber thing, it's not going to keep the water in. So just, you want to come over here and see. Stick it like that. Okay, now come over to the other side. And you're just going to hand tighten this on there, just like that, until it's tight. You don't have to go crazy with it, just till it's tight, okay? Nothing's good. And you're going to do the same thing. Oh, first things, make sure that you clean around the hole. So this is where the water is going to come in the pool. Okay. The 2 shutoff valves. They also have the washers. Without the washers, it's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these on and then put them in the off position so that we can start filling the pool up. One thing you want to make sure is that you get 2 things. One, make sure you use a washer. Make sure there's a washer with it. If there's not a washer, water will leak out. It will seep out, and it'll just be a real pain for you. That goes for those intake valves too, the intake ones, that the first part that's attached to the pool. These, make sure, you notice I'm kind of going backwards and forwards. You got to make sure that you get the threads aligned right. You don't want to, they have to be seated correctly or it's going to leak. So, and whenever you do get it on there, I know everybody feels like you have to tighten it super hard, but you really don't. Just get it a little bit tight, and once you get water in there, if you see it's leaking a little bit, just tighten it up a little bit. Another thing you can do, actually, a little tip, is to use you could use some plumber's paste, or even like Vaseline on the threads. It'll help them kind of to move and kind of keep the, seal it a little bit without like making it like glue. Okay, so this is kind of the pain. If you have 2 people, it's cool, but it's still a pain. And if you see Intex videos, they make it look like it's so easy because they have this nice brand new pool. It's nice and soft. It's warm out. But the truth is, after a year of using a pool, it's going to come out and it's going to be a little stiff. It might be, a little wrinkled. And the idea here is just to get it spread out as much as possible so that you just kind of getting yourself ahead of the game. And then just start filling it up with the hose. It takes a while to put like some water in there. But while it's doing this, you have to do the same thing to try to get rid of those wrinkles. I just pick up the top and push back with my foot. And you really have to go to the other side and pull it after you get some water on the one side, and you just kind of keep doing it. This is probably one of the biggest pains, if you ask me, to try to like make it so there's no wrinkles. But honestly, it took like an hour to put this pool up. Now, we had a truck come and they delivered 4,000 gallons of water. It cost $140 this year, which is actually more than last year, a lot more, surprisingly. But notice I don't have the pump up yet. And the kids were already swimming in it. And you can see there's a little bit of like wrinkles in the bottom, but not really. And no leaks or anything. Again, this is I always get this wrong, third or fourth year. I think this is the fourth year for this pool. And it's a little dirty. We clean the top off. It looks great. It's crystal clear. And they've already swam in it. It looks great. So after they came, we still had about 6 or 8 inches of water we had to put in the pool after that. So we put like a good 4 or 6 inches in, and then we had to put another probably 8. So the pump, I usually sit it about right there, and I hook it up. It doesn't matter which side you hook up first because it's turned off. Again, it's the same thing. Don't over tighten them. If there's a leak, you can always try to like just tighten it a little more. I'm cleaning out some hair right here. There's just a little bit of like hair and stuff from last year. Try to get anything out of there, so start fresh. And right there's that washer. Make sure you have the washer on there because again, it'll leak. I open up that valve right above there. I have that open and also have the one open. I have the whole thing open right there to the right where the filter goes. I didn't put the filter in yet. So now I'll hook up the other one. This is where the pump will pump it up into that one, and that one will actually be the one that goes into the pool. And I got to tell you, it made a huge difference when I got this pump. Do the same thing here, clean it out. Make sure you have a washer. If you don't have a washer, don't even do anything. Get a washer that fits your pump. But anyway, I'll put a link to that pump. That pump made a huge difference, and I think that they should have that pump as a default with every 18-foot pool or even 16. It's just powerful, and it really does the job. The other ones, I think, are rated fine, except for they just don't move the water enough, and this does. This is a great pump, and actually, I think it was $50 cheaper than the ones that they sell with them. So, yeah, you spend extra money to get a new pump, but it will save you a lot of headache, and it just works so much better. So I got the filter kind of situated in there. Make sure this one has the washer too. It's all big about the washers. Now I tighten this again. I don't over tighten it. And now I start at the high side. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to go down and it's going to fill in the pump. You want to make sure you fill that whole cavity. So right now, there the water's coming down. It's coming out of there. And I tighten it up, that valve. I just wanted to kind of clean it out and get the air out. So that's what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to get the air out because you don't want a pump running where it sounds like it's choking to death. That's because there's not enough water in there and there's air in there. So what I'll do right now is I'll just let it go a little bit and then I'll loosen it again to let the water all seep through the filter and all that, and just make sure there's water coming out. And sometimes you'll hear air whenever you do that too, and then I'll do that. I'll loosen it and tighten it again. Now, I haven't checked the pool or anything for the pH balance or anything, because I know from previous experience the water I get is okay. I should check it. I'll probably check it then. But and then I put 2 chlorine tablets in, because this is all based on the experience I've had for the last few years. This is like clockwork now. I don't really have to worry about it. I just put 2 in there and make sure they're settled flat. Put the cap on and throw it in the pool, and it's really, that's it. It's good to go. And that's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.